The National Art Education Association Anchor Standards are connecting number 11, relate artistic ideas and works with societal, cultural, and historic context to deepen understanding, and creating number 3, define and complete artistic work. These are the standards connected with these 3 projects based on 3 wonderful children's books. The books that inspired me to come up with these lessons are Winter Lights, A Season in Poems and Quilts by Anne Grossnickel-Hines, The Spider Weaver, A Legend of Kente Cloth by Margaret Musgrove, and Bubba the Cowboy Prince, A Fractured Texas Tale by Helen Ketteman and illustrated by James Warhola, who is Andy Warhol's nephew. I got to meet James Warhola at our state conference just a few years ago, where I bought this book. Hello, my name is Joyce Knight-Coyne. I am from Royal Oak, Michigan. I have taught for 19 years, and I am sharing some projects that I came up with to go along with children's books. The first one is Winter Lights. And I teach at St. Mary Catholic in Royal Oak, and it's a small K-8 school. So right before Christmas is when we like to do this. This book has pictures of different kinds of quilts. It talks about Kwanzaa, it talks about Hanukkah, and it talks about Christmas. If you look over here, you can see how we did a weaving, a simple weaving. And the way that we start that weaving is I have them practice on scrap paper first. So they fold a piece of paper the long way, and then they draw lines with a pencil, starting at the point and going out a little further each time. And then I have them make a straight line so that when they cut across the other way, they don't cut too far and cut through their tree. So once they have something like this set up, they cut. I'm cutting sort of quickly here. And I always have them practice because I don't want to give them their final paper, their construction paper, and have them make too many mistakes with that. Then when they cut the lines the other way, they don't want to go past that line there. That line is just south of that furthest point that points in. So we want to make sure that we don't cut too far and cut through our tree. Then I have them cut about every ½ inch or so, and when they open it up, they have their basic tree that then they can then take the bright colored papers and weave. And they glue down the ends, and then they can use chalk or construction paper crayons, or as in this one here, we used the metallic and fluorescent paint sticks. But whatever you have handy in your room will work. Anything that would work on construction paper and show up well, like construction paper crayons or gel effects markers, any of those things. The next project has to do with the Spider Weaver, A Legend of Kente Cloth, and it has a cute little character in it, the spider, who weaves a beautiful cloth. So you could actually do 2 projects with this. We did a weaving using some of the same colors, traditional colors that we see in the book. And then we made a group project. We took 2 of our African American students, outlined their heads, And then we made, by putting all the class weavings together, made a robe for Queen Rebecca and Princess Jasmine. With this book you could also do, using the fluorescent paints or metallic paints or gel effects markers or construction paper crayons. You could have them do a spider web and a cute spider and make some kind of collage that way. And then my third book, and this is my favorite, Bubba the Cowboy Prince. This is illustrated by James Warhola, and he came to our state conference a few years ago, so I got to meet him and buy a couple of his books. James Warhola is the nephew of Andy Warhol. So his book, Uncle Andy's Cats, is a very interesting book because it's memories of his childhood and going to visit Uncle Andy and all of the cats that Uncle Andy had. In this book, it's like a Cinderella story, but it has to do with Bubba, the cowboy. And cowboys are part of our American history. So what we do here to make our hats is we take an empty single Pringles container, and you can ask the children to bring one in, or I just buy for the whole class and they can have a snack unless they're allergic, and then I arrange to give those children something else that they can have. But to start with, I have them fold a piece of paper, and again we practice on scrap paper first. Fold the paper in half the long way, put your cup on top of it and trace around it. Then you're going to go in about ½ an inch and make another shape, and you're going to make marks at the 12, 3, 6, and 9 like a clock, and then you also make marks in between. So it ends up looking something like that. Then you're going to fold it shut and draw a line that sort of looks like half of a guitar shape. Then when you cut it, that's going to be the rim of the hat. And you can use whatever you have for decorating the hats. The hat on the display board here has duct tape and pom-poms and some white crayon to make the crisscross marks. And I always tell my kids, like, so when they cut this out, this sort of looks like a pear or the shape of a guitar body. To me, it looks like that. And then they just cut a little slit right there so they can get inside their paper. And they're going to cut on that inside oval that they drew. And continue to cut around. And then they're going to cut up to, on those lines that they made, they're going to cut up to that outside oval. And then they take that and press it down gently over their upside down Pringle cup. And they have their basic hat shape. Now they can use decorative tape or duct tape to put a rim around there. You can have the whole thing covered with duct tape or decorative tape, or I found that Sharpies can also be used on here, permanent marker, to color those. You can have them punch holes and make a string with yarn. There are lots of different ways that you could have them decorated. Sombreros could also be made using these cups. And so there you have it. These are the projects that I came up with that go along with these books. And my kids enjoyed them so much that I wanted to share with you. Thank you for listening. And now you can talk to me directly at the end of this iMovie and ask me any questions